Why not every agave spirit can be called tequila? In the glass, many agave spirits can seem to carry the same green sweetness. But tequila is not a nickname for a flavor. It is a protected Mexican name that must pass through land blue agave and official rules. This first story begins before the drink and follows the name back to its home. The word tequila did not begin as the name of an ingredient. It comes from the town of Tequila in Jalisco and the producing region around it. Blue agave covers the hills, and old distilleries sit among the fields. People made a drink from that landscape, and the drink took the name of the landscape. To say tequila is to name a place before you name a bottle. The plant holding that place together is blue agave. UNESCO describes the agave landscape of Tequila as a cultural landscape tied to Mexican identity. The region carries old memories of agave use and traces of distillation from the 16th century onward. Those rows of sharp leaves are not just farmland. They are the background that gave a drink its name. Before agave lifts the bottle, the map has to open first. This drink is not a free recipe that can be made anywhere. Even if someone distills the same kind of agave outside the approved region, the name tequila does not follow. The word on the bottle may look like a flavor label, but it is really a sign allowed by land. The first secret of tequila is closer to the map than to the glass. The more famous a name becomes, the more copies begin to gather around it. As tequila grew in the global market, similar bottles and similar claims appeared beyond Mexico. If that continued, tequila could have become decoration for any agave drink. Mexico was not trying to protect only a trademark. It was trying to protect a name filled with fields, towns, and the time of producers. Mexico once had to protect a drink name by law. In 1974, Mexico formalized protection for the appellation of origin of tequila. That made tequila the first Mexican appellation of origin. From then on, tequila was no longer a word anyone could place on any bottle. One legal stamp began pointing to the rights of a landscape before it pointed to a drink. Protecting the name did not end inside Mexico. Tequila crossed borders and imitation crossed borders too. OAPO explains that in 1978, tequila was internationally registered under the Lisbon Agreement. The farther the name traveled, the more clearly Mexico had to say where it came from. Global fame blurred the name and at the same time forced its border to become sharper. The map of real tequila is smaller than many people think. It centers on Jalisco and reaches approved areas of Michoacán, Guanajuato, Nayarit, and Tamaulipas. The Tequila Regulatory Council describes this territory as 181 municipalities. An agave spirit born outside that map may taste familiar, but it cannot carry the name tequila. So tequila is a drink only after it is a map. The map alone is not enough. Tequila also requires agave tequilana Weber Blue variety as its source. Production and commercialization must follow Mexican official standards and certification. That is why agave places blue agave and an empty inspection sheet beside the bottle. The name is not a pretty label, but a promise that runs from field to bottle. Tequila went global, but the name stayed in Mexico. In 2024, about 496 million liters of tequila were produced, and about 400 million liters were exported. A large share went to the United States, and tequila became a language of bars around the world. But using the name still means passing through Mexican land and rules. Globalization did not take the name away, and instead made Mexico hold it tighter. So even in a margarita glass, the story returns to Mexico. At a city bar, lime, salt, and ice may appear first. Behind that name sit the town of Tequila, the blue agave fields, and the stamp of appellation of origin. The drink can travel far, but the root of the name does not move so easily. Tequila became a drink the world enjoys, but it did not become a drink from anywhere. Now when you hear the word tequila, there is something to picture before the bottle. Jalisco sunlight, blue agave fields, and a name Mexico protected. Tequila is not just a strong drink or a party shortcut. It is a promise that carries the memory of land. Inside one sip remains the name of a place Mexico refused to lose.